we're nearly there. I think we're nearly there in terms of questions. All right. Has anyone got anything they want to ask me? So it's over to you now. I think we've covered everybody there in terms of the questions that came in. Anybody got any questions? When should you start your first trade after Kickstart? Okay, so you should start your next trade when the setup for your next trade comes along, Dominic. So everyone's saying, when should I trade? Should I trade it week one? Should I trade straight away? Should I give it more time? It certainly depends on what you do. If you join us in the trading room via Total Trader, then what I would say is it's probably less important that you get a trade in because you're going to be coached alongside us to do it. But that doesn't mean if you're going it alone that you should go and place a trade next week. You should basically decide on what, out of all the strategies that you're learning on the Kickstart, decide on one. And when the setup comes along, trade it. Simple answer. Does that help? So there isn't a given. Now you might decide you're going to trade moving average pullbacks, and your setup comes on the Friday, and you finish Kickstart on the Wednesday. You might finish on the Wednesday, and it's another week before your first setup comes. So I think the thing is, when should you decide you're going to trade? Three things: when you're happy with the strategy that you've got, you're clear on the criteria rules, and you've done a little bit of testing, so you know that the strategy has a little bit of track record. But what I would also say is don't leave it too long either. Another question I often get is, should I demo trade or trade with real money? For me, the only reason you should demo trade is so that you understand how the broker mechanics work in terms of placing trades. So stop orders, limit orders, everything like that. Really, what you should do is get to live trading real money as soon as you can. But what you don't want to do is wait for the perfect setup, open your broker account and go, how do I place a trade? So with a demo account, you can just practice all the orders. You can practice hypothetically. You can make mistakes, and you can spend a good chunk of time doing that. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. Rush. So to counter drawdown in a strategy, rather to have a smooth rising curve, you trade multiple strategies on different time frames, both mean reversion. Depends. The challenge is, if you trade multiple strategies, you may get a period where one strategy's profitability counteracts another strategy's drawdown. You may also get a scenario where both strategies are winning. You may also have the scenario where both strategies are losing. So the challenge with that is that if you expect to be winning or counteracting losses, and then you don't get it, you're in a position where you think, So the trouble with your question is it's too assumptive. You're assuming that if you trade two strategies in two market conditions or two different time frames, one will offset the other. But I've been trading long enough to know that you'll get times where both are going like that. One is offsetting the other and vice versa. But there are some times where both strategies, especially if you're trading different setups on different time frames, will both lose at the same time. And that's why so many traders give up, because they've decided that what they're doing is going to work a certain way. And for a short period of time, it doesn't. All right. So you've got to be careful of that.